Hey BTP family, this is Jasmine Haley, the founder of Beyond the Prophy and also the host of the Beyond the Prophy podcast. This is another BTP Straight Talk here on a Monday. Many of you are getting ready for your commutes back home, and sorry, couldn't get this message out to you this morning because I was just in Colorado and had the most amazing time. And I decided after providing, my course, I did 6 hours of CE on opioid addiction and HIV. I decided to take a day and spend some time with my friends and actually see things. Often I travel and I'm out speaking and I don't always take the time to hang out. I've been much more present and much more conscious of that so that I can take that time to speak and enjoy each other's company. And I did. I was scared of heights, y'all. I'm telling you, I didn't realize how bad it was, especially when you ever seen those 2-lane roads and there's no railing. You're like, oh my gosh, there's no railing. I just could not understand why, what would be, okay, this is the best way I can explain it. You're driving, right? And you look at it and you look down at the side and all you see is all the way down to the bottom of the pits, like the end of your life. Yes, I was being ridiculous, but hey, listen, I had a great time and I'm hoping to do it again and be able to visit these wondrous places. I mean, it was so surreal, so peaceful. And it was just great to be amongst a group of women that were from all different ages and all different walks of life, all different phases. Me, I'm in my 30s. I'll be 34 in just a few days. We have my friend in her 40s, friends in their 50s, 60s. It's just wonderful to connect on a deeper level with women from various backgrounds and be able to share our time together. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Susan Cotton, Lanny Beth, Jane Smith, and Christy Lincoln. So this recording today is about forgiving yourself. Someone had posted something on my Instagram, and y'all, I do read it. So post something to me. You can post me. You can add me. You can even DM me or send me a Facebook message if there's a topic you want to hear me talk about. But this one is about forgiving ourselves. I find that for the most part, when you are a type of personality that is used to controlling things, or you have these high expectations, often unrealistic expectations, when life gets thrown in the way or when challenges arise, it's not very easy to handle. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I know what that's like. I know when you want to have everything perfect and everything ready to go, and then something comes up health-wise with my family, or I may not have the resources available to make the next decision on where it is that I want to go next because of some of the expectations that I put out there. And the expectations were so high that there was no flexibility in it. So I went to find a article on forgiving yourself. And I want to share some of the tips that they talk about, but also put my little spin on it. So one of the first things that they recommend for you to do is focus on your emotions. And I think that's important. I think when we are feeling, I guess the best way of explaining it is feeling down on ourselves and feeling upset or sad. We need to acknowledge those feelings and actually take the time to reflect on where is the source coming from. Taking the time to reflect on that will prevent an issue where you feel like, wow, I've got these feelings going on. I'm being ridiculous. Or I've got these feelings going on and I'm feeling like a crap because I've made this mistake. Or I'm feeling like crap because I haven't reached the height of where I need to be in my career. Focus on those emotions and then acknowledge them. Acknowledge where they're coming from. And then it's very important. One thing that's really, really helped me is to think of everything as a learning experience. Everything, every decision I've made, every place I've worked, every communication that I've had with people, whether positive or negative, have been a learning experience. And I am thankful for that. There were times where I didn't feel that way. I would feel like, oh, why didn't I explain it like this? Why didn't I stick up for myself in this particular situation? Why didn't I tell them how I felt at this very moment? I've had to learn in the process, because I'm such a highly critical person of myself, not of others, of myself. Many of us are like that. We're highly critical of ourselves, to forgive myself, but take that as a learning experience. So going forward, if I have similar situations like this, I will take the time to actually have that difficult conversation, or decide to let it go because it's not something that I should be dwelling on. The next thing is, and I had to change this. They talked about it in another way, but I've got to give a shout out to my coach that helped me balance so much of my life last year, Nikita Thigpen from the Balance Boldly podcast. You have to give yourself permission to pause. If you don't pause and you're running 500 miles an hour, you're not taking the time to reflect on how you feel, you're not acknowledging it, you're running the risk of malfunctioning is the best way of explaining it, or some sort of outburst, or doing something irrationally. Give your second permission to pause in those feelings when things aren't working out the way that they are, because that will allow you to be able to forgive yourself and say, you know what, things didn't work out the way I wanted to, but guess what? I've learned from this, and now this is how I'm going to improve my life going forward. You need to be able to identify when you're self-critical. We all have our own inner critic, and we've got to learn when our talk in our mind is one that is positive or constructive, or if is it something that is completely destructive for us. Here's the thing, they tell you to talk to your best friend like you would talk to them, like you would talk to yourself. And, for the most part, like when I'm talking to someone that I'm very close with, you want to be there for them. You want to be compassionate. You want to treat them well. But in all honesty, we're not doing that for ourselves. And it's hard to admit. I mean, I know, and I've talked to other women, and I've also dealt with it, where you're so critical over yourself, and you basically put yourself in a sort of emotional punishment for an extended period of time. And that really, truly isn't a way to live. So please forgive yourself. And then you need to get clear with your expectations and what you want to do, whatever that may be, will take time. Don't beat yourself up. Stop overthinking. Forgive yourself of whatever expectations you have put forth, and keep moving forward. I like to say often now is, I took the first step. I took the first step. I took that bold action, and I took the first step. Take that first step. Even though you feel like you didn't do too well, even though you've had a negative experience before, take that first step. Take it boldly. Take massive action. You will see a difference, and then you will start building a stronger character for when things are challenging. You won't go and let me go start beating up on Jasmine, and let me tear Jasmine down and rip her apart. The next step would be, what can I learn from this experience? How can I improve? What can I do better with? And then finally, I want you to remember to show kindness and compassion to yourself. Show it. Show it as much as you do for your patients. Show it as much as you do for your loved ones. And sometimes that may even mean you need to seek professional help. I have said this many times before, and I stand firm in it, because I've forgiven myself of feeling like I need to be super and Wonder Woman. I have sought professional help, and it was the best decision I could have made last year, was getting someone to come from an objective place where they can help me process some of those inner feelings, some of those decisions that I were making that were not showing forgiveness towards myself. So sometimes you got to seek that professional help. Does that make me weak? No, it makes me stronger, because as soon as I find out how to take care of myself mentally and to learn to forgive myself, automatically I become a better wife. I become a better mother, a better sister. I learn to place some healthy boundaries up to protect that, because there's nothing worse in the world than someone that does not feel that they are enough, doesn't feel that they deserve to be treated with respect and love, and someone that's in a position where they feel like they don't want to even receive the kindness and compassion that they themselves give out. So I want you to take this time to really reflect on some of the points that were brought out from that article, but also ones that I've shared from my personal experience. We've got to get out of the rut of not forgiving ourselves. We've got to get out of the rut of not taking the time to pause and reflect on how it is that we're feeling. What is the source of that? How can I improve? How can I be better? We need to continuously learn how to treat ourselves better, understand that we're enough, because so much of that is wrapped up on the personal aspect on whether or not you feel personally free, whether you feel like you have professional freedom, whether or not you're fully satisfied in your personal or professional life. If you want to hear more, if you want to dive deeper, join our community at beyondtheprophy.com. You can sign up for our mailing list, or go to facebook.com/beyondtheprophy. You can find our community there. We have a membership site. This membership site is for individuals like yourself who want more, who want to learn on their own terms. You can become a member for 12 months. We're revamping our whole membership site. It reopens again November 10th, so that you can learn from influencers like myself and so many others that we have met. There's no need for us to wait till we are at CE courses. We need to start pouring into ourselves now and get to a place where we feel and know that we are enough and we can conquer whatever goals that we set forth. All right. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye.